My report is about neo-pagan value of Ukraine, theory and practice. Of the confessional map of Ukraine, a special place belongs to modern paganism, neo-paganism, native religion. It combines not only religious practices but also various skills of social cultural life from art to politics. Modern pagan communities of Ukraine operate in the form of religious communities, associations, public organizations, music and art associations. Between different areas of modern paganism in Ukraine, there are different views and the prospects for the development of the native religion movement, different theological concepts, organizational features, and more. But there are common features. One of them is a respectful attitude to the hero warrior, defender of his family, people, and belong. In the theoretical development and practices of modern pagans, much attention is paid to this issue, in particular in the printed and online publications of ideologues and founders of the movement, leaders of communities and associations, ordinary followers of modern pagan practices. We find a significant number of publications dedicated to various historic and legendary brave warriors who defended this homeland. The constellation of warrior heroes in the modern pagan pantheon includes entire nations and individuals, representatives of different historical epochs, poeticized images of Ukrainian culture. This is the Ant Prince of Bosch and the Cossacks take and the image of the Cossack Mamai as a defender of the native land and the embodiment of military virtues. For many modern pagans of Ukraine, Volodymyr Shayan and his theoretical achievements are an important ideological basis for religious and ideological choice.
Excuse me, I'm just going to interrupt briefly. We're still on the first slide. I think you want to be on slide 3.
And now watch slide you see.
We are now looking at slide 2.
Yeah. And now, next slide.
We see Shayan, yes.
Yep.
Therefore, it is just paying special attention to its use. In 1957, in his report, Sacred Heroism as the basis of the Ukrainian national worldview, Volodymyr Shayan portrayed a warrior fighter, a holy hero, as opposed to scheming men or ascetic. Because the fullness of life and efforts placed on the altar of the ideas on one's nation deserve no less respect and reverence than the usual image of a Christian saint. The strife for one's will and state is a good, honest, and fair deed. Such a strife, according to Volodymyr Shayan, is a sacred heroism, a worthy example for all mankind. The spirit of this heroism, called the spirit of the nation, was developed in the 18th century by Grigory Skovoroda. Shayan writes that Skovoroda formulated in his philosophical considerations, experience and tasks of the nation, and thus laid the foundation for a true revival of Ukraine. Taras Shevchenko continued the case of Grigory Skovoroda, picking up a continuous chain of spiritual development. For Volodymyr Shayan, Grigory Skovoroda is used as the embodiment of a true rebellious spirit, not passivity. The teachings of the philosopher are full of idealistic heroism and in fact reflects the meaning of life and struggles of the Ukrainian products and subsequently the entire Ukrainian nation in the new era. Volodymyr Shayan considers the creation of the state and the strength of the statesman, warrior knight in the name of this state and nation. Shayan also mentions Prince Sviatoslav, the brave, foremost modern Ukrainian pagans. This prince is the embodiment of the best virtues of a warrior, statesman, defender of the native land. Emphasis in places on the prince, religious and worldview believers, his military campaigns are romanticized, and in general the whole image comes in modern pagan poetry and goes from appearance to deeds and deeds with appeals to continue the glorious work of the brave prince in defense of his native land and faith. But perhaps the most famous warrior hero is a ruthless pattern in a word was Taras Shevchenko, the holy knight of truth and freedom. Volodymyr Shayan in his printed works provides the idea of continuous chain of spiritual development of Ukraine and Ukrainians for centuries. And the spirit of the nation was embodied in the majestic figures of Bogdan Khmelnytsky, Grigory Skovoroda and Taras Shevchenko. The development events of Khmelnytsky's time, digested by time, were embodied in Skovoroda's philosophical worldview, from the spirit of which Shevchenko was born. This is what the spiritual chain of ever-gaining and creation of the Ukrainian nation according to Shayan looks like. The look of the maybe of the Rus people who love God with Pashnik, warriors, combat spirit, being dedicated to the soldier defender of Rus Ukraine. The collection of excerpts from the book of Veles begins, which for this native religion is a collection of spiritual texts of ancient Rus. This is centered in the annotation, one of the editions of the book, with comment by Pashnik. The collection of prayers dedicated to Perun, Mother of Glory, Slava, Perunica, Sribog, the well as the oak, the sacred tree of warriors in Tunis. There is also a battle order. The bullet flies around me, iron bypasses me, fire and water flow, mine enemies act in have been overtaken.
5 minutes.
Word of array written into cipher 4 by Vasilij, which is also included in this collection. Its text and notes has already become out. Complement the song in point of the collection of glorification, Mother of Glory and Prometheus. The Pashnik reflects the reincarnation of the warrior soul in the pages of the book, and important thesis is as follows. This cannot stop a courageous warrior who stood for the fatherland, because he saw in the hands of Father Svarog. It is to our family that we gave this holy land. It is our mother and cannot belong to other nations. That is why the struggle for one's birth is a sacred right of a warrior who must accept death if necessary, standing facing it. The death of a soldier of the battlefield guarantees him access to the Perun's regiment. In this view, we see parallels with Scandinavian mythology, in which on the battlefield opens the way to Valhalla, the family palace for brave warriors. I will note that the Scandinavian version of modern paganism in recent years in gaining popularity in Ukraine, especially among young people. Soldiers on the battlefield, according to native believers, are accompanied and protected by the sacred bird Mother Svarog glory, a protected bird that also battle and sings of the dead on the battlefield and accompanies them to the Svarog's meadows. For the representatives of the Pashnik, as well as though the natives in general, Perun is the god of military victory and takes care of the soldiers. He is honored in July. But not only the heroics of the past became an occasion for honor, the events in today's Ukraine are closely intertwined in the worldview of modern pagans with events long past and legendary and mythical, which is embodied in the songs. First of all, I will mention the song Angels in Camouflage, recorded by the leader of the Shadow of the Sun, Sergei Vasilyuk, with Alexa Beck as part of the volunteer project Songs of Fire, and the song carried by Shevchenko, dedicated to Ukrainians who served captives. A mythopoetic idea of the warrior as a sacred person of sacred heroism is one of the components of the theological concept of modern paganism. In particular, Galina Losko wrote into Thesis about the doctrine of the Perun regiment and army consisted of the souls of fallen soldiers and living in Svarog forever. These soldiers falling on the battlefield touched their wounds to their homeland. It is this handful of native land and is passed to the Svarog's meadows. This is thanks all the native land gives the soul of the warrior of immortality So the warrior is not afraid of death because courage and inspiration in battle give him eternal life. It is a great honor for a soldier to defend his native Ukraine. Thus, for modern pagans, native believers, the image of a warrior hero is closely intertwined with real historic events and personalities, as well as with mythopoetic images, primarily Slavic and Scandinavian mythology. Such viewing formed a romantic image of a hero warrior who defends his native land and will be happy to die for it. He is called to this feat by higher powers. Perun, Perunica, Svaron, Peshbog, Mother Slava, Odin, Valkyrie. The lions in their religious beliefs are concerned events is the history of Ukraine, their unique interpretation in favor of their vision and understanding, especially the life and work of Prince Sviatoslav the Brave, the Cossack era, the struggle of the Ukrainian insurgent army is a great ideological foundation for maintaining the moral and justification of the longevity of the tradition. Various talismans and attention to the science sent by higher powers are widespread in the native religion. The war in eastern Ukraine has only heightened attention to this aspect of the worldview. Based on the available source base and the small number of scientific and practical investigations into this problem, I will try to outline the neo-pagan component of the religious factor in Russia's war against Ukraine. First, they are the most modern pagans who defend Ukraine, their motivation and features of military service. Second, elements of modern paganism in military mythology. In this context, Andrzej Mikulski writings on the mysticism of war deserve attention. In the conditions of war, directly in a combat zone various, absolutely banal things that knew sounded and said. The soldiers themselves, regardless of religion, are reluctant to talk about various charms, superstitions, amulets. The more valuable is the interview of a modern pagan, a supporter of Slavic paganism, Roman Buluk. According to him, there are no different gods really, there are just different ideas of people. During the war, Roman Buluk drew a symbol of Perun in the Tagalog. Traditionally, Perun protects against lightning, so I thought that would also protect against God.
We're reaching the end of our time. If I could ask Professor if you could be so kind as to finish up within the next minute. Thank you.
I'll bring to your attention a few slides dedicated to the natives who went to the Perun's regiment of the Veros Meadows. Of course, this is not a complete list, and unfortunately, injuries do vanish. Slide 20 and 23 in placing of soldiers for military feat and honoring the memory of their dissident native believer child.
All right, thank you very much. These are the slides.
several slides about Ukrainian warriors who are Neo-pagan. They already died from 2014 up to this time, and the list of these warriors is not complete. And, And I can repeat that there is a position of the warriors who defend their people, their land, their cities and villages, and they are brave that they can do it. They use their life and their professional skills in war for make possibility other people can live in country, in motherland.
Thank you very much for a very timely and very moving presentation